Greetings, Twilight Struggle fans. Justin Abramson here with you. Good morning if you're in the US. Good afternoon in Europe, and good middle of the night if you are Alex. Thank you for tuning in today. We've got an Atlantic League game, or rather two games, between Ted Livermore and James Hawkes. This is a quarterfinal series. Ted won his first round series in a sweep over Josiah Emery. And made it to the quarterfinals. Winner of this goes to the Final Four in Atlantic League, and in all likelihood will also make a trip to the Champions League. So some critical games on tap here for you today. Winner of this series, and I don't know that we'll have a winner today, gets Ryan Pinderlick in the semifinals. So without further ado, let's get going. We'll be watching from Ted's side. He sent me his recordings. And Ted is the USSR in game one. James got to pick sides, and he elected to take the US. And here is a pretty darn good hand for Ted. He's got Purge and NTB. He's got two guilt-free four-ops. He's got Blockade to go with Purge. Asia's scoring could be interesting. Ted is often a fan of turn one. If he purges his opponent or has a ton of ops, he loves to try and score domination in Asia from just North Korea and Afghanistan. So we'll see if he gets away with that. Okay, typical 4-4-2 setup, and Ted is going to go with the purge against the Nazis, and a coup of Iran is good enough. So I'm rooting for Ted in this one. I always root for Ted, unless I'm playing against him. But he gets the coup in Iran, gets the purge off, and so this could be a rough turn for James. Okay, so he goes with a two-op. I suspect we will see this go into Lebanon and Malaysia, would be my guess. But we'll see what James wants to do, if he wants to do something like go into Egypt and forego Malaysia. Now, Ted at this point, he's used his four ops right away, so he doesn't have a ton of ops left, is his issue. Thinking about that. Okay, so Ted going to fill up Iran to take presence in the Middle East and also head into Pakistan. So if James wants, he can try the big coup of Pakistan and get the last word, but he'd need a big card and a big roll. I like the decision here by Ted. I don't like the decision by Ted to put his Warsaw influence into Bulgaria, knowing he was about to play EEU and remove access to Italy. That part I don't like, but a minor mistake. Okay, and there's two in Egypt. That makes sense. I suspect Ted is going to take Afghanistan here. Yep, that's exactly what he does. So that's going to put some pressure on James. So James, if he wants to stop Dom, is going to have to spend two ops in Malaysia and Philippines, or coup Afghanistan. He could also coup Pakistan, but he needs to fully flip it if he wants to stop Dom. And yeah, that's not going to do it. So Ted, okay, big roll, but Ted's still going to score Asia Dom. And very happy about that. Yes, Ted is a player who loves pulling off that domination with just the two countries in Asia. Yes, Ted and I played the game together. Ted introduced me to Twilight Struggle, so only fair that I root for him. James spaces sock govs and misses, and we'll see if Ted wants to try his blockade now. I think I would do it now rather than on AR6. And then you hold the Korean War. We'll see if James was holding a 4. I think I might have tried a bigger coup on Pakistan if I had a 4. Yeah, he either doesn't have a 4 or he's holding decall and doesn't want to give it, which is even more reasonable. So okay, DEFCON down to 2, and 1 into West Germany makes perfect sense. Truman is still around. Yes, Ted and I are real life friends. We've known each other since 2008 when we were seated in the same cubicle at work. And then one day we hung out a lot since then. And one day he said, somebody gave me this game that takes 3 hours for my birthday. I don't know anybody else who will play it with me except you. Want to play? And the rest is history. So, okay, here we go. And James gets rid of de Gaulle. So Ted now with Romanian might be a decent headline here. It would give Europe Dom in the headline. But Ted does not have it. He does have independent red, so he'll be able to get rid of that. I think Nasser is the easy headline here. Defectors is around, and yep, there it is. So I think we'll just see Ted take the coup here. I don't think there's a need to fill West Germany and give it up. I think you just take your mill ops, hope to roll big. Oh, and Ted does roll big. Wow, that's even better than getting Nasser off because it takes James out of Egypt, and it means Ted will get Libya. Now, what's not in this hand for Ted is obviously a D card or an access card of any kind, although he does get into Egypt and then therefore Libya here. James would need to spend a minimum of 7 ops to take Europe domination. So I don't know that that is in the cards here for turn 2. Ted with Middle East in his hand. Originally, if that coup roll had gone poorly, I would suspect that Ted would 5-year plan it. But now Ted should be able to score an easy dom in the Middle East. Yes, the economy wasn't in great shape in 2008, but Ted's and my friendship was just beginning. Okay, and there's Marshall. That would have been a great event. But it's okay. And there goes NATO to just take West Germany and fill up Egypt. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. No, I believe that Special is around, but I'm not 100% sure. Truman definitely is around. Yep, and there goes Europe. So, okay. James takes the -1 in Europe and probably relieved to see that Ted does not have decall or destall. Yeah, I think this is fine. Then you take South Korea with the war. You score Middle East down. The question is, what does Ted want to do with his last 2 ops? Algeria might have been a play. Okay, well, now I'm going to take Algeria. Algeria. Nope. Ted, take Algeria. Okay, and there goes Special. All right, so Ted, okay, well, that makes sense. And now Ted has to, because now Ted has to defend against that. All right, fine. Leave Algeria alone. Yep, and there goes Truman. Okay. I still would have rather taken Algeria than that, I think. But I guess, oh no, you know what? I guess I'm being a little tough on Ted for no reason here. Ted perhaps thinking about CIA. CIA is still safe. If he takes Algeria, it will not be. And, oh, he gets CIA, but he also gets UN. So he would have been able to get out of it, but he gets Duck and NORAD, 2 other great candidates for UN. And, wow, 5-year plan and Europe, although he doesn't need 5-year plan in Europe. Okay, so Ted can give up, so he can give up CIA, he can coup and then give up CIA. The problem is Fidel obviously could be triggered. C5 in the Middle East isn't going to do anything. C5 in Asia could flip Thailand. This is a little bit of a tricky hand. You've got UN, CIA, Duck, NORAD, but it would be a lot trickier. Defectors has been seen, yes. This hand would be much trickier if Ted had not, if Ted had taken Algeria. Fortunately, he did not. Okay, Ted gets purged, and he's going to UN CIA right away. I'm a little confused by that. But okay, and he gets the big roll on Panama. So now he's got a space duck. He's going to give NORAD. So Ted could have gotten CIA out of the deck permanently. He could have cooed. Yeah, I guess if you can't, he can't coup Panama. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Alex makes that makes sense. You could have taken one out of West Germany to just get it overprotected. You're purged. Obviously, Special's active. Truman is in the deck. Okay, there goes D-stall. James will hit the roll. So no D-call, no D-stall for Ted. Both are spaced on turn 3. So that is unfortunate for him. However, Ted does pick up an Asia domination. Going to try and fight there despite being purged. He does dominate the Middle East. And he is ahead battlegrounds in Europe. So we will see what happens here. Ted is certainly in good shape in all 3 early war regions. He's got an 8 VP lead, which presumably will go to 9, barring an IP war redraw. And he does have 1 in Panama, CIA gone till the late war. So yeah, CIA headline would have been safe. I think the issue is you are giving up a Millop VP there. So that would have been -1 on Millops instead of +1. So Ted hoping that this game ends before the late war and he has to worry about that. Okay, and there goes Romanian. So Ted with a Europe Dom. And okay, yeah, he'll take Panama, take Libya as well. Okay. And now Asia, so Asia tied 5 countries to 5, although it's +2 for Ted on the scoring. Middle East currently scores 5 for Ted. Southeast Asia and Africa quite ugly for our hero. And there goes another big 4-op. Wonder if we'll see Burma. No, we'll see Cameroon, Mexico, and then filling Canada for NORAD purposes. Here we go, turn 4. And here is some garbage. Wow, this is garbage. South African, though, is very nice to have. That could reshape Africa. And you know it's not getting defectored. Missile Envy going to hit you, Surrey. That's not the worst thing in the world here. If Ted did not have China, that would be terrible. But okay, here's Missile Envy, and Ted needs a 3 here. And he'll roll a 1 instead. That's a huge disaster of a 1. Okay, so NORAD will go into Angola, presumably. And then James will take probably Zaire, Angola, and Nigeria. Zaire, Angola, Nigeria. Yep. And Ted does not have a 3-op to flip either of those countries back. He doesn't have anything worth eventing. Yeah, this isn't great. So I wonder if Ted is just going to score the Middle East here. That's exactly what I'd do. Yeah, 14. At this point, I think if I were Ted, I would be spacing defectors. Okay, and there goes that. So Ted needs to use 1 small step now. Oh, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. Ted needed to use 1 small step there to stop the double. And there goes 3 VPs for James. Yeah, that's 3 VPs that Ted did not need to give up. Okay, so Ted now up 11 VPs, but if he hadn't given up those 3 on the space track, he perhaps is on track to win with maybe a decall in Asia. Oh well, decall's gone, but picking up an Asia dom. Okay, there's a VP for Ted. And a little surprised not to see Burma here. Okay, Ted doing some overprotection. I am definitely a little surprised not to see Burma here. And there's IP war. Okay, it'll miss. Needed a 6. Burma to threaten India, particularly with IP war in hand. James should have put 1 in Burma to force Ted to go in there. Okay, and Ted takes a coup of Cameroon. I don't know if I understand. Okay, Ted takes the coup of Cameroon because James got Millops. James will coup it back with Sadat, which is a little surprising. Sadat is an important event here, although Middle East is scored. Yeah, I like this much better than the Algeria poke. The Algeria poke doesn't do a ton. And there's Willie. So another VP for Ted. Oh, and okay, going to go with a North Korea polka. Okay. This hand, not particularly good either. Muslims does absolutely nothing. Special, Ted can poke. Nixon gives up 2 VPs. Nasser's useless. Yeah, this isn't a fun hand for Ted. Nothing he wants to headline. Absolutely nothing. He's going to headline Kitchen. Counting up battlegrounds. I think he's pretty well ahead at this point. I think you headline Kitchen. Nasser? I think I'd rather keep Nasser on the deck for the late war. Okay, Ted must be worried about Kitchen becoming active in the headline. So let's count him up. 4 battlegrounds. Ted is down 4 battlegrounds in the mid-war. He's up 1 in Europe, so that's 3. It's Middle East makes it even, and then he's down 1, and then he's up 1. So yeah, he was up 1 battleground. So if that junta had dislodged him from Panama and gone into Venezuela, Kitchen would have been active, and he would have had to give up the VPs. Now he doesn't. Okay, and yeah, so Ted needs to reestablish Asia Dom for sure. Ted is certainly frustrated here by the lack of access. Ooh, and CRG's is annoying. That's not going to do a ton in Africa. But yeah, I think you take Laos back, and maybe you take India as well. I think you have to take India and Laos, right? Ted could be worried about a North Korea poke, but Usuri and Nixon both gone, and Cultural is around. Yeah, and now the rest of Ted's hand is looking a little problematic. Special can just poke. Omid, I suppose, can also poke. Okay, and there it goes. We do get the North Korea jam. Oh, no. Very interesting. James instead flips over Southeast Asia, looking for some VPs there. And there goes Asia for 3 for Ted. So Ted at 14. But in some serious trouble here in the mid-war regions. Down. He's behind, and he does not have a single influence on the left side of the board. Yeah, he needs to get rid of Kitchen ASAP. Nuclear subs is going to do almost nothing. Ted probably happy to see that not evented. Yeah, I think you can just take a nuke subs coup of Cameroon here. I think you give up nuke subs first because it doesn't do anything. You can only coup Angola. Now Ted could also space it if he doesn't want to give Milops, but I think you just. But Ted needs Milops himself. Maybe he'll coup Cameroon with Kennedy and hope to roll low. All right, well, Ted now has a face-down China. Ted does have China. And, okay, wow, hits the space roll. Ted does have China. And both China events are gone. For both bad China events are gone for him. Cultural is still around. Okay, there's Korean War and Libs, both of which were unspaceable, so certainly annoying to lose those. I think you coup Cameroon here, right? Yeah, you just coup Cameroon, hope to roll a 2. Oh, okay, well, that's probably the worst roll that Ted could get, because now we'll just see a coup back. Yep. Okay, so Ted in some trouble here. He needs the bad scorings not to come, and he needs OPEC. Okay, here's... Ooh, man. ABM is nice, but the rest of this hand, not so much. Yeah, despite being up 14, Ted is in some trouble. We've seen Junta. No, yeah, we've seen Junta. We've not seen Brush. Ted headlining ABM now. Puppets gets him into the other half of South America. Yeah, you've just got to take a coup of Panama, flip it. And I wonder if Ted is going to take another coup in Central. No, I don't think. Yeah, I think you have to do this. Yeah, you could go with a Central coup and try and roll a 6. Yeah. Yeah, 4 would have been enough to get 1 into Brazil. And where's this 1 going? I wonder if it could be North Korea. No, it's just going to fill up. And there goes cultural. So Ted at 15 VPs now. And hoping he doesn't see South America. Or Africa, for that matter. Ted holding his breath for a scoring here, because certainly we'd see it now. No. Have to. Okay. So Ted going to get rid of that Central. So now we'll see if James has Africa. Okay, he does have Africa. All right. So I would think that James would have scored South first. Oh, yuck. All right, James now ahead. In the VP track, and South America will make that even more so. Ted stuck with voice and OAS. OAS is not that big a problem for Ted because the Americas look pretty ugly already. Yeah, and Ted definitely in some trouble in terms of ops. He's been behind on ops this entire game. He does get lucky that South America looks like it's not coming until turn 7. He did get off Central for even. Sadat is in the discard, so that is of note. Okay, got to overprotect Panama. Because you're going to give OAS, hold VOA through. Okay, so here we are, AR7. Ted's going to hold VOA through. It is unspaceable. James with space discard, but not headline peak. Oh, man, and James hits the roll on space. Discards Allende. Yeah, okay. Ted in some pretty serious trouble here. Southeast Asia and South America. That could be, and a bunch of garbage. Oh, my goodness. Redraws Europe. So that Southeast Asia is going to be 6 for James. South America at the moment look like it's going to be 10. Oh, and a grain redraw to steal the coup. Yeah, and I think this probably goes to Panama. Maybe Libya. Oh, he's just going to roll a 6 in Iran. Okay, this... Yeah. I don't really understand Iran instead of Libya there, given the hostage crisis situation. But okay. So Ted, I think, needs to score a Europe domination here. He can also flip Thailand. Okay, he could do. Okay, so this will lock in a Europe dom for Ted. I don't know what One Japan does. Yeah, and I think Ted at this point realizes it's going to be DEF CON only. So, and he would need China in order to flip Thailand. So I think he's going to have to hold on to China here. Marshall's certainly not an event that Ted wants to give up, but okay, James gets out in one and discards a card that Ted very much would have liked to see. Europe Dom will be scored there. Yep, and now Ted is just going to have to give up on that, I would think. He has no influence there. No place to even get a foothold. I don't understand this. That doesn't change the domination situation. You got to hold on to China for DEF CON purposes. There's brush, and it hits. Okay, bear trap going to space. Ted will hit on that roll. Could have self-trapped, but now he's just going to give up voice. I think Ted realizes that he needs to... Yeah, this is looking lost for Ted. I mean, just the lack of access is horrific for him. 11, and he's giving up 11 in Africa, and then 10 in South America. And then he's going to also give up Milops VPs here, which I don't understand giving up China and Milops VPs. Okay, and there's Middle East. Oh, wow. This is truly garbage. And Evil Empire is good enough. Okay, so yeah, wow. Ted had no chance in that one. It looked good at the start for him. He was dominant. It was at one point dominating all three early war regions, but just couldn't get the access. And boy, that really came back to bite him. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video here and get game two going. Okay, so here we go. Game two. Ted is the U.S. in this one. And this time does not get a particularly good hand. Ted may be thinking about a 4-3-3 Truman setup. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Ugh. And James gets sock govs, so not what Ted is looking to see. Oh, China to open. And he rolls a 5. Okay, so the extra one in Italy would not have helped matters. So I think this has to be, yeah, that's the right play. This should be Portugal, yep. Okay, and Ted will get into India. Okay, Ted's going to need his mill ops. We may see a Nasser coup. Ugh, rough start here for Ted, losing 6 VPs on Europe. So Ted could go into Egypt, then Libya, then do the Nasser coup. I don't know that he has the ops for that though. Okay, going to take Malaysia. Interesting. Does not try the coup. It does not just usually US puts 1 in there. He goes for 2. Ted needs his mill ops. And there goes defectors. Okay, yep, take Middle East presence. Yep, Ted's got to try the Nasser coup, and he misses. I wonder if we'll see another coup here on AR5 to lower DEFCON, or if we'll just see a Libya spread. I think I would just spread out if I were James. Yep, okay, there's special. I think I'd just take Libya here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and I think I would try another coup if I were Ted, and then maybe take Thailand AR6. Another coup saves you 2 VPs. Ooh, gonna try the 2 op, and he's gonna hit the roll. Knock him out. Oh, and he had Middle East. Okay, so saved him a VP. I wonder if a 4-4-2 setup would have tempted James into just headlining Europe, cooing Iran, and then fighting for the Middle East. But instead, he fought in Europe. Ted gets Western Asia, and Ted also gets Asia in his hand. A much better hand here. Wow, 2 guilt-free 4s. Of course, all the 4s are guilt-free for the U.S. in the early war. Decall, wow, not the card that Ted wanted to see here. And now Asia Dom is going to be a battle, even with this very strong hand. I suspect Ted will get the coup here. I wonder if Ted maybe thought about headlining Asia. Okay, and there goes Nate. So now we'll see the coup. Ted will take it in Nigeria. Could try Libya. Well, good thing he didn't try Libya. De Gaulle into South Korea, yeah. Yeah, Ted. Okay, Ted's going to jam, which I like. He's got the ops for this. Marshall is a very bad event to give up. US Japan is a bad event to give up. Yep, and this will just be Ted taking Asia Dom. Okay, so a nice play there by Ted. Ted now up 5 countries to 4. So Vietnam would stop Dom. Okay, yep, and there goes Burma. So this, no, no, no. No, no, no. Just take Afghanistan and the Philippines, right? Okay, I guess IP war could take Afghanistan. Yep. I think IP war takes Afghanistan now, or you could hold IP war because you really want that. I mean, you could flip Indonesia here, but then you're just going to get a battleground poked. Okay, Ted wants to hang on to IP war. Okay, going to take Japan? I don't know about taking Japan with US Japan around. I would rather flip Indonesia. Yeah, this is better. That's better. And then you're still going to get a battleground poked, which will stop Dom. Yeah. Okay, Ted's going to get a battleground poked here, presumably. Unless James' only playable card is Marshall, which I doubt. Yeah, there's AI war to poke North Korea. Yeah, and I think Ted should have seen that coming, but which is why I would have liked him to use the 4-op right away. But okay, here comes the reshuffle. Ted does get Marshall, which looks like his headline. CIA redraw, not so good. Purge redraw is nice. And wow, Ted immediately goes for the Purge. UN of Duck for a coup in, oh, another one in Nigeria. Marshall, okay, yeah, Marshall event is reasonable here. But I guess it can wait because I think that would have been NATO if James had it. Blockade, yeah, yeah. I would be eventing Marshall here. This is a critical event to stop Europe Dom on a long-term basis. It doesn't leave you with much in the way of ops, but I think you need it. And that would have been my headline over Purge. Come on, Ted, Marshall event. Marshall very strong here. Ted, what are we doing? Okay, well, this purge has been helpful for Ted. Yeah, overprotect West Germany, activate NATO, take France. Then you're 1 up away from stopping Europe Dom, and you get into Greece and Turkey, which is the most important. No, event this. What are you, Ted? I don't like this play. I don't like this. This has to be an event. Ted lost game 1, turn 7, just got no access whatsoever. I think that one had to be an event, Ted. Okay, wow. This hand is a monster. Uh, ABM, Junta. Well, we did go into non-battle round, so Che is a bit of a problem. De Gaulle in our hand, Warsaw, a little bit annoying to get. But wow, ABM and Junta, very nice. So, okay, ABM, the headline. Maybe thinking about going after Thailand here because Junta is not going to do that much. Mostly, yeah. I guess ABM is better. You coup Thailand, you hope you can get a shot at one of the ones African one stabs. Oh, Africa. Okay. Now Ted can take a nice Africa Dom here. If he wants it. I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, you got to take the Zaire coup. So, yeah, Ted would have thought, was probably thinking about going Thailand, but that. Okay. The Africa headline is very weird to me there. Unless James has a bunch of other scorings. Okay, Ted's going to, okay, gets a couple out on the realigns, not quite. So Ted with double space presumably will space Che. And we'll see what James does here. If he has brush war, well, certainly we would see it triggered right here. And he doesn't. He's going to just retake Cuba. No. I didn't even see where the second one went. So this needs to... That better not be a 1. Okay. Okay, and there goes South America. So Ted scores it for 3. And now Ted with the opportunity to space if he wants. So that is definitely a break for James that Africa scored. Excuse me, South America scored before Ted could spread out. All right, Allende obviously going to be the hold here. Che obviously going to go to space. Usuri could be an event, but I don't know. Yeah, Europe could just be totally different if Ted had Greece and Turkey. Okay, Ted now up 9 VPs, and he gets arms race off thanks to that Colombia coup. And there's OPEC to bring it down 3, just take the VPs right back. Usuri to pull China. Okay. It's just, yeah, there's space. I think we'll see Ted space right back. He will hit. So Ted up 11. I would like to see Ted spread out in South America. Okay, and now there goes Nixon. So both of Ted's China events are gone. De Gaulle going to space as well, and Ted hits the roll. Okay, so Ted with headline peak, also up 13. But he behind in Central America, behind in Europe, behind in the Middle East. So he is behind in all the unscored regions, other than Asia rather. So here we go. Yeah, boy, would have loved to see Ted just get 1 into Brazil. He does get CMC, so really all he's got to worry about here is brush in terms of getting him out of South America. Brezhnev's annoying, but I think this is just a nice, easy CMC headline. And the question here becomes what to do with cultural. Ted, I suspect, will space it and hold Allende rather than play China and cultural. Okay, James right away cancels CMC. I think that's wise. Puts one in Israel. Ted now has to see if we got to see if Ted's going to fight for Israel against a Brezhnev'd up James, and I think wisely just decides to spread out. James picks up a VP from Alliance. I suspect Ted will space. Ted could double space here if he wanted to. Okay, those aren't the scorings Ted wanted. That's not the scoring Ted wanted, but he certainly happy to see Portuguese, We Will Bury You, and Gunman. Yeah, see, the Pope I would still event, even with Poland at 7. But Ted probably will not event it because there's going to be some cooing in Central America that needs to be done. Yeah, Brush obviously going to be a huge card in this game. If Ted gets it, he can potentially flip Italy, Panama, Libya, all 3 of which would change the domination situation. Okay, there goes Quag for 4 ops. That's going to fill up Israel and do something else that I don't know. Oh, 1 Botswana, it looks like. NORAD for the Nicaragua coup to stop Dom in Central. It's not going to... Yeah. Surely you jest with 4 bad scoring cards when you include Southeast Asia around. All right, there we go. And then we'll see a coup. Oh, just a 1 there. Panama could have been an event, potentially. But, fine to use it for a coup there. Okay, NATO now in effect, although too little too late for Italy, I'm afraid. And El Salvador. Yep, El Salvador. Weird though it may be, El Salvador stops Central Dom. Nope, does not go El Salvador. Instead, protects... Okay. Doesn't think that James has the scoring, and he's right. Okay, there we go. And Ted going to space cultural and miss. Now Ted without Asia Dom. Okay, pretty good hand here. Again, not a lot of ops, but some good events to help him out. He does not get Brush, which is the key card here. Ted just hoping that James headlines a scoring card into VOA. James too good a player to do that, though. Yeah, so yeah, good questions about Ted's headline choice. U.S. Japan is an interesting choice. Sock Govs? Oh, Sock Govs stops Ted's presence in Europe. That Sock Govs is a huge problem for Ted. Wow. Okay. Yeah. And James certainly is going to score Europe here. That's going to be a huge number. Ugh. Oh, no. Goes special to fix Thailand. Okay, that makes sense. Now, Ted will certainly retake Europe presence, I have to think. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that. James is going to be dominated in Asia anyway. I think I would have liked, if I were James, I would have scored Europe for the presence list. Okay, there goes Southeast Asia. All right, now Ted gets a coup, which you will take in Angola. Could go Panama. Okay, well, happy he didn't go Panama. That won't even. That's not even good enough role for Angola. Okay, there goes Central. So Ted now will. Yeah, okay, gonna play CRGs. He can score Asia, but that presumably can wait. Ted held IP War, so James could still have Brush, obviously, as I've been talking about, but he does not have IP War. Okay, Ted now sitting with Africa Control, although it is scored. He's got Asia Dom, which he's about to score. He is dominated in the Middle East, though, and I believe Muslims is around. It is. So Ted could conceivably eat a control in the Middle East. James can pretty easily fix this. But Ted will take 6 VPs to go up 11, and then obviously the question is, what does James have in his hand? Oh, gonna self trap. Okay, I don't think James would self trap with scorings in his hand, so that could be a big break for Ted. All right, so now what's Ted gonna do? He could score Asia. I think you could flip Thailand if you really want to, but it's only 2 VPs. Doesn't affect Dom. Yeah, I like just scoring. I think that's fine. Okay, Ted needs mill ops. So yeah, okay. Now thinking about. Oh, excuse me. He does not need mill ops, but James does. All right, Ted thinking about purge here. Eventing salt with the African one stab looking like that is not great. All right, we'll see if James has scoring cards. Ted hopes he does not. Okay, Kennedy. Okay, Ted very lucky not to draw the bad scorings, and he can also that's also lucky to get South African, which he'll be able to now hold through. This will be a nice easy new subs coup back, and Ted, man, another one on Nigeria. Anything but a one there. Okay, and then this I think would be OAS into Chile and Argentina, and Ted hoping not to see a scoring or brush here. No scoring, no brush. Makes Ted a happy man. Oh, there's brush, and will it hit? It sure will. And that is a big problem. Ugh. Okay, here we go to turn 7, and Ted gets trash. He gets both bad scorings. He gets decall and libs, both of which are unspaceable to go with South African. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Ted had Africa control and really looked like and was the only one with influence in South America. And Muslims is incredibly painful as well. So yeah, I guess it's purge. Even though duck for the VPs is tempting. So I wonder if we'll see a coup here. Might see. I guess you're going to see a coup of Angola because even if Ted takes back, oh my God, he goes Zaire. That is crazy. Wow. Wow. Does not go for the Angola coup. Guess he doesn't want to make South African free. Had to have a 6 in Zaire, and he got it. Oh, and an Allende redraw. Well, this has to take Argentina, certainly. Yep, one Brazil. I don't think Egypt matters that much. Yeah, this is just a brutal turn 7 hand for Ted. Yeah, Ted's going to give up 5 in Europe. He's going to give up another, presumably 5 in the Middle East. So VP track's going to be even. Ted also going to have to give up all these terrible events. Ugh, I just want to look away from this hand. Yep, there goes Middle East for 5. And then he'll give up Europe for 5 and go down in the VP track. Should just go, okay, yeah, going to overprotect Nigeria. I'm not sure why you don't just score Europe here. But I guess Ted feels like he's got to take Egypt back. So he's going to do, nope, he's not going to do that. Kennedy's gone. I'm not sure what we're waiting for in Europe. Okay, Ted maybe thinking about a play to avoid getting dominated here. James just needs one op to get another country. Yeah. Okay, Ted scores it. Ted now needs Milops VPs. But he doesn't have a good card to get them with. Okay, that was absolutely brutal. So James gets brush, hits it on Brazil. with the bare minimum, I might add. Then redraws Allende turn 7, which Ted was going to hold. He discarded. And now Ted is down to just a couple of good regions, and that's not going to help matters. Has another difficult hand here. I think it's got to be how I learned, so you only lose one. I think it's how I learned, so you only lose one country instead of two, instead of being controlled, potentially controlled here in South America. Although no, I guess if it's how I learned, Argentina is just getting realigned. They'll go to Venezuela, realign Argentina. Yeah, CRGs just doesn't do much. Just doesn't do much. We already dominate both regions that affects. Okay, thinking of, all right, Chernobyl Central. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Ted was up 14 here, and now he's down 11, and in just huge trouble. I don't. Boy, it. This is horrific. Ted's hand here is terrible as well. He doesn't have CRGs is usually a nice event, but it does very little here on this board. I'm having a very difficult time seeing a path back here for Ted. Yeah, I mean, this is what you do. It's just not very effective. Yeah, overprotect, overprotect. Yeah, yeah. Space, miss. Ted's going to try and space again, certainly. He will not be able to space again. Suez is annoying because it gives Israel back, but so does Marine Barracks. God, another one. Oh, and that's just going to casually flip Argentina and give South America Dom. Suez is annoying here. How much DEF CON is around? CIA, I believe, is in the deck. Um, I, I think all the DEF CON cards are around, except for Duck. And 5-year plan. Okay, Ted gets one of his good scorings. Needs to not see the reformer or really anything good here. Okay, yeah, and Ted just going to hope that James misses on this roll because otherwise he's, you have Glasnost, so you could have cooed back whatever James coos here, but he's just going to hope that James misses. And I mean, with this hand, I don't with this board, I don't know if I blame him because you can use Glasnost in South America. Ugh. It's just an easy Angola coup, which would be an 8 VP flip if he hits the roll. Okay, he misses. So Ted does get his Dom. He could have just gone one Cameroon. Yeah, I don't blame Ted. Yeah, he could have just gone one Cameroon, which would have stopped Dom. Oh, and that's the card Ted wanted to have around. But obviously a flip of Angola would have flip domination. D-stall. What's that going to do? I guess that's going to fix up Saudi, set up realigns. Yep. So essentially just a 4-op here in the late war. Oh, he goes one Japan. I think this is probably time for a Glasnost coup of Brazil. Okay, gonna event the Pope now. Interesting. There goes Asia. All right, so Ted now with the VP lead. Okay, now Ted may be thinking he does not want to give up Glasnost. Although Ted's best scoring, so if he triggers Evil Empire, spaces Glasnost, yeah, there's not really a War Games path for him. Okay, well, you need to roll better than a 2. Another DEF CON card gone. So yeah, the DEF CON path is pretty much non-existent at this point. 5-year plan, Grain, Cal, Duck all gone. So it's just Teardown and Star Wars at this point. Purge gone as well. Nuke subs. Okay. Ted can just take that. And that turn 6 brush and the turn 7 Allende redraw. Just so huge. Ted got a space Che. He will hit the roll. So, okay. Man, if he had not, without Glasnost, oh, ouch. If he triggers Evil Empire, doesn't give Glasnost, he's maybe on the doorstep here of War Games. Yeah. Well, he would be at 6. Does Ted get War Games? No, he does not. He also get. Okay, well, I forgot CIA was also around. But CIA in Ted's hand, so that's not good. This is a pretty nice turn 10 hand, but despite the lack of ops, but South America scoring is bad. CIA in our hand is bad. Iranian hostage crisis headline is bad. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, is it North Sea? You still yeah. You need to be able to even up South America here, and I mean you're it's four dominations is the issue here. Oh, and there's a nice hand. Yeah, Pershing AR-7 will be mean. And Brush could hit Pakistan, Venezuela. Yeah, this is GG. Okay, so CIA, you coup Angola, and don't roll a one. I think that's where you start. You start with a CIA coup and not rolling a one. Okay. Now you start. Now you that this brush or realigns on Venezuela needs to not needs to miss. Okay, now I'm going to take Japan. Ted not even bothering to disguise solidarity. I think North Sea. Yeah, I think North Sea event is probably the play. Now, one VOA doesn't even central because Ted's controlled there. Maybe Ted's thinking about Star Wars for Brush flipping Brazil. I don't know. I don't know because I think he needs. Yeah, he needs to not have this scored on him. Okay, brush for ops, and now Ted presumably will Star Wars for it and try and flip it. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I thought you meant one pull from VOA. And yes, obviously, if Ted had Panama, then one influence of VOA would flip it. But yes, one VOA can just even up, can even central, and then a second could do whatever. Yeah, that's fair. Um, but I think okay, Star Wars for Brush here can save you more VPs. Okay, and that stops Africa Dom. Not sure. Yeah. Okay, so 1 Japan, 2 South America. Now 1 Japan, 2 South America, and maybe 1 the Southeast African states. No, it doesn't. Yeah, those. Ted knows he's beat. 2 South America, 1 Syria, 1 Japan. I think is the play. It's not good. No, that's not good enough. Yeah. Syria. Yep. Just not good enough. So, all right. Well, congratulations to James. He advances to the next round. After so Ted pulled off the upset in the first round to get past Josiah, but after that it's been all chalk. Other than Ted, the other 2 number 2 seeds all advanced to the quarterfinals, and now all the number 1 seeds have advanced to the semifinals. I'm playing Harry in game 1 tonight, so hope you'll tune in for that. But yeah, tough series here for Ted. Just lack of access in the first game, and man, this one just turned on him late. The South America in particular, Ted, different scoring card timing. Ted scores a control there, and maybe this one looks a little bit different. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll be back tonight for game 1 of my semifinal series with Harry. But until next time, that was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.